Good morning, Kiddo Kids, and welcome to Friday, September 29th, and today is National Coffee Day. Now, coffee is one of my personal favorite things. I mean, we have Java Junction Jr. down here, and it's a really beautiful drink. It's got like a lot of complexity, a lot of different flavors going on. You can change it and add things to it. And really, the one thing I always kind of wondered about is why do kids really not like that flavor? I remember as a kid, I didn't like coffee at all. And it really comes down to the kinds of flavors that we can sense and we can taste. The one I want to talk about is actually bitter because coffee is extremely bitter. And bitterness actually has a role in our bodies. When, as people, bitterness actually tells us if something is potentially toxic. And we've had many years to figure out things that actually are or aren't. So not everything that's bitter is actually obviously toxic. So really, when you start tasting it, you're actually tasting this chemical called TAS2R46. And that kind of is funny because next time you're tasting something, you're like, this is not so good. You can say like, oh, that TAS2R46 is just too much with this dish. But really what it comes down to is that to enjoy bitter flavors, we have to train our tongues. We actually have to experience it more and more. It becomes less intense. And then we get to the point of actually enjoying it. But, there's something else to talk about in coffee, which is the caffeine. That is that chemical that actually is a stimulant for us. And sometimes we get a little scared and start trying to tell kids, like, no, if you drink it, it's horrible for you. Well, it's not really that horrible for you in itself. It's the fact that it can cause some problems, some side effects. And I think we all know what those are, which is the more caffeine we drink, we get things like a quickened heartbeat, which can cause hypertension, chest pain, irritability, all of these really awful things. But the main thing, and the reason why a lot of parents say it'll stunt your growth, is that trouble sleeping. What's going to happen is that you're going to get too much caffeine, and you're just not going to be able to sleep. And you need to sleep. That's when you grow the most. But just to give you a heads up, caffeine's in all kinds of things that we eat and drink. It's in the soda pops you might drink. It's in chocolate that you might eat. It's all over the place. You can't completely avoid it, but just trying not to consume a lot of it, because caffeine or coffee has quite a lot of it, can really help you out, especially early on when you're doing most of your growing. So here's my advice to you. If you would like to develop a taste for coffee, stick with decaf. A lot better for you. Anyways, plus you're probably just not going to like it on its own. Anyways, let's find the flag in the room, and
please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
all right, you crazy caffeinated kids. Let's talk a little about food for the day. Well, we have on our menu a PB&J sandwich with string cheese, or pizza crunchers with sauce, baby carrots with dressing, juice, and milk. What's going on with that weather outside? Well, more beautiful weather to report. I mean, really comfortable, very nice out there. But look, as we get into next week, I mentioned this before, we are about to hit what we usually call an Indian summer. It's when you have that reoccurrence of really summer warmth in the fall. But I will say it's pretty short-lived. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week looks like we're going to have some warm weather all the way up to almost like the low 80s. But then Friday, the cold front pushes a little bit of rain on us and brings those temperatures plummeting down. So just know that it's going to be like a quick snap of warm for a couple of days next week, and just be prepared for it. It's going to be some t-shirt weather. But beautiful sunshine for the most part, just a little bit of rain at the very end, about a week out. So we still got plenty of time. Let's do those Kendall canines. I do want to talk about one that's been on here before, Roxy, which is Sean Johnston's pup, is a beautiful dog. But mainly I want to talk about the fact that yesterday was Sean's birthday. So, happy birthday, Sean. You're 1 year older. Way to go. All right, so let's finish out our announcements and the week with that Kendall mission statement. The mission of the Kendall Central School District: provide the knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes needed by students to live responsibly and to compete successfully in today's and tomorrow's world. Well, I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. You enjoy that weekend, and if I don't get a chance to see it, remember to stay colorful, Kendall.